The British Raj. Learning about the entry of British into India. The 14th century, Europeans were seafaring nations. Each country strived to become more powerful than the other, and for power, they needed gold and silver. In 1498, Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer, discovered a sea route to India. The Portuguese established their trading ports in Calicut. The Dutch, English, and French soon followed with trading interests in spices, cotton, silk, indigo, and of course the gold and silver from India. The Portuguese were the first to establish trading ports in India. Seeing the riches of India, the British too obtained permission from the Queen of England Elizabeth I to start a company. The East India Company was established in 1600 AD to trade with India. The English established their trading centres at Surat, Masulipatnam, Fort St. George in Chennai, and at Calcutta too. They then began to build factories at Surat, Agra, and Bharuch with permission from the Mughal Emperor Jahangir. Fort St. George and Fort Williams in Kolkata were built to strengthen their position and prevent attacks from the Maratha, who especially raided Surat. The Mughal emperor has spread all over the India under Aurangzeb, but after his death, the subsequent rulers were weak. India then divided into a large number of smaller states who were inadvertently fighting among themselves. In Bengal, Robert Clive defeated the Nawab of Bengal at the Battle of Plassey. This brought Bengal under British rule. With Diwani or rulership of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa coming under the British rule, they also gained the right to impose and collect taxes on the land. This also gave them administrative rights. The British imposed heavy taxes on the farmers and forced them to grow indigo, cotton and jute. The farmers faced a shortage of food crops, which in turn led to an outbreak of famines. The British took over the administration of areas where rulers were weak by providing them British troops and protection. Other kingdoms were taken by a law which stated that if a king did not have a natural-born son, his kingdom would be taken over by the British. This was known as the doctrine of lapse. Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi lost her kingdom to the doctrine of lapse. With these conquests and shred policies, the British established the foundation of colonial rule in India. The people of India were unhappy under the British rule. Not only did they have to pay heavy land taxes, their rulers were losing their kingdoms. The British raised armed forces from within the country. But these Sipais were unhappy. They were not paid as much as the British and did not get promotions after a certain level. They were forced to travel abroad, which was against their religion. What tipped the soldier to revolt in 1857 was the new Enfield rifle that was introduced. The cover of the bullet had to be bitten off before use. It was believed that this cover was greased with the fat of cows and the fat of pigs. This was against both the Hindu and Muslim religions. There had been revolts earlier, but the 1857 mutiny had far-reaching effects. On May 10, 1857, the Sipais rose in revolt which spread to all parts of India. Bahadur Shah Zafar, and last Mughal emperor, was made the head of this revolt. Other great leaders were Tatya Tope, Nana Sahib, Rani Lakshmi Bai, and Begum Hazrat Mahal. The British crushed the revolt and emerged as a strong power. Bahadur Shah Zafar was imprisoned and sent to Burma. Many of the other leaders died. The British called this revolt as the Sipahi Mutiny. But this incident has been recorded in Indian history as the First War of Independence. Immediately after the revolt, the East India Company was dissolved and India was brought under the rule of the British Crown. A viceroy was appointed in India as the representative of the British Crown and to rule India. Summary. We have learnt about the British Raj. There's a great story of sacrifice and struggle that Indians underwent to obtain our freedom. We shall be studying a lot more about the freedom struggle and its heroes in our subsequent classes. Keep learning.